Hi there, I'm Carey and I make Compass Smudge Sprays, which are now available at Made in Windthorst, Saskatchewan. I have one here to show you. Compass Smudge Sprays look like this. There are 5 different kinds, so this is the rose scented smudge spray. I also have sage, frankincense, sweetgrass, and Palo Santo, my favorite. And so what makes my product different from other sprays that you might find on the market is that mine have only 3 ingredients. So I have essential oil in them all. I have grain alcohol, which is Everclear, and distilled water. So the reason I use Everclear instead of like lots of people who make their own sprays use vodka, which I tried at first, but when you use Everclear, then the essential oil can solubilize with the Everclear. And so it completely joins together. So then you don't get those little beads of oil sitting in your spray and you have to shake it every time. I know I keep shaking it, but that's just out of habit. You don't need to shake these because they are completely what's called solubilized. The only one that has 4 ingredients instead of 3 is actually this rose one, and it has an additional ingredient which is almond oil in it. The reason I did that is because the rose essential oil is so expensive that I used an almond oil carrier in it so that you didn't have to pay an arm and a leg to get some nice rose scented spray. And it states on the side here, it says spray to clear the energy in your space. So what does that even mean, right? What is a smudge spray? Traditionally, cultures have used smudges, usually things like different kinds of woods or grasses or plants like Palo Santo, sage, cedar, sweetgrass. They're all things that grow that you burn to smudge. And so the smudging effect is that these, when these are burnt, they have properties such that they can clear energy. They can clear the energy in the air. So, maybe some things happen where there's been an argument in your house or, you had a disagreement with somebody in the family. And so it can feel kind of yucky in the space where you had that disagreement or, on a larger scale, if you go like to Auschwitz or something and you can feel this really yucky negative energy. That's what smudging is meant to do, is to clear out some negative energy. Some of the different scents can also attract positive energy. So sweetgrass is one of those ones. And Palo Santo can do both negative and positive energy. So the reason I started making these sprays was because I was buying a lot of them. And I said to myself, why don't you just figure out how to make them? And that way I can get the scents that I want. Palo Santo is my favorite scent of them all. I've always liked burning Palo Santo. I actually have a little piece of it here. This is what the Palo Santo wood looks like. So you can burn this to smudge, but the spray smells just as fantastic as this. And so what was the hardest was sweetgrass was really hard to find in essential oil. I finally found one at a Warehouse Books in Regina. So that was the hardest essential oil to find of those 5 that I'm making. Frankincense is not hard to find, but it's an expensive one too. So you'll find that some of them, they're priced differently according to how much the essential oils, the raw products cost me to begin with. And so the idea of them is to use them, to clear your energy, maybe at your office, in your vehicle, wherever, maybe in your yard, in your house, maybe in a space that you rent, maybe it's not your space, maybe a hotel room where you go in there and it kind of feels like, you can use this to clear the energy. And so what do I mean by energy? I guess if you, maybe you know, maybe you don't. So let's do this little, let's do a little exercise so we can feel the energy. And you can get a better idea maybe of what I'm talking about. Don't mind my sandpaper hands, that's just how they are. You could rub your hands gently together if you like, or yeah, go ahead and rub them. I like to rub mine. It just kind of gets your energy moving. And then hold your hands pretty close together, just barely apart. And keep them there for a while. Just thinking about what it feels like in that space between your hands. So giving your attention to how does it feel between your hands. And as it starts to maybe feel like tingles, or like it's maybe warming up, or there's some movement between your hands, just bring them apart a little bit and then put them back together even closer, not touching. And again, and you can slowly start to pull them apart and put them closer together. And then maybe you want to start moving your hands in a different way, like maybe you can feel a ball in here. And if you lose that sensation that you get originally of that tingling feeling or that sense of movement between them, just put them close together again until you can feel it again. And then when you get it, start playing with it again. So that's what energy feels like, right? And it surrounds us all the time. It can feel good or it can feel not so good. And in those cases where it feels not so good, one of the strategies you can use to clear it is Compass Smudge Spray. Available now at Made in Windthorst.